Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Stauning Small Batch Summerton Edition. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Stauning Small Batch Summerton Edition. This was the Summerton Whisky Club bottle for August 2023, and as usual it's a subscription that I pay for every 2 months, and it's £50. This particular whisky is a small batch from the Danish distillery Stauning, which have been making whisky since 2005. This particular whisky is made from 13 different casks of whisky. All are smoked. Some are smoked with heather, some with peat, and some a combination of the two. And they're aged in casks which have held river stouts and muscatel, as well as ex-bourbon and American oak. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say that is like a mahogany. It really is dark. Let's start with the nose. Right, so the first thing I get with this is like a wood smoke. There's like a red wine. There's honey. There's sweet vanilla. There's like a hint of burnt rubber. There's also a nice cherry note which reminds me of bourbon. And there's also a little caramel as well. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so this has got lots going on, lots of flavours which are dominated by the peat and smoke influence. The first thing I get with this is heat. It definitely has some heat. It's 53% ABV, so there's definitely some heat. And the next dominant note that really stands out with this is burnt rubber. And burnt rubber is a note that's often like, I'd say it puts me off slightly, but in this, I think because there's other flavours going on in the background, although the burnt rubber note is quite present at the start, the other sort of sweet and fruity notes that start to come in, they sort of make this dissipate fairly quickly, and yeah, it really becomes more pleasant the longer you sip it. Let's have another sip. Yeah, there's definitely some wood smoke in there as well, but the sweet flavours are coming through now, like honey. It really is nice. There's like a cherry syrup, and there's also like juicy raisins. It's probably, I'd say it probably is only, it's only slightly oily. It's got a quite nice texture on the mouthfeel. It's not overly oily, but it's not thin either. It really has a nice texture in the mouth. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, there's like a rice spice note, like a linseed oil for me. There's also, along with that sort of, I don't know, the sort of juicy raisins, there's like a fig note as well. I think the wine casks that have been used, I think round this off really well. They give enough fruit, but I don't get any sort of dryness or tannins. There's almost no bitterness with this as well, but there is a little bit of dry wood on the finish. The finish is long. There's some heat. There is that dry wood that I mentioned. There's like a fruit syrup, and there's also like a slight sort of cough medicine note with this. In terms of value, well, I'd say this is extraordinary value. Obviously you can't go out and buy this. This was part of the Summerton Club membership. So it was designed for members with the Summerton Club, and there are no more. But it definitely gives you an idea of what not only Stauning can do with the combination of sort of smoke profiles that they have and different cask profiles. It shows what the club can do when it sort of collaborates with distilleries to get something that's unique, get something that's interesting, get something that isn't mainstream, it's not on the market, and it's also great value at £50. Obviously, I don't get paid by them to encourage people to join, but when they have bottles like this that just are unique and you can't get anywhere else, it's a no-brainer to become a member of the club for bottles like this. You don't know what you're going to get, so you don't know in advance. It is a little bit of a gamble, but I always get whiskies that I never would have bought. You know, even the sort of stuff that I can go out and buy, you still get things that you just wouldn't necessarily choose, and it pushes your boundaries, it tests your palate, and yeah, it's a great club to be a part of. I'll put a link in the description if you're not familiar with them, and yeah, if you're not familiar with Stauning, I'll also put a link to their distillery. As it happens, the day this landed, I actually booked a trip to Denmark. I'm going next August, so August 2024, and I can't wait to go to the distillery. I'd be lying if I said the only reason I'm going is for the whiskey, but it isn't. I do have an ulterior motive, and yeah, whiskey is just part of the agenda, but I'm really looking forward to going and seeing the guys at Stauning and seeing how they make it. So that will feature in a future video, I'm sure of it, and I might bring back some goodies that I'll review on the channel. If there's any particular whiskies from Stauning you think I should try before then just let me know in the comments. As always, I'll seek out some bottles, and if not, I hope you found this interesting, and I'll see you next time. Stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.